Hey guys, how's it going? John here again with another video out in the garage, like every other freaking video that I do. So, quick little thing today, kind of an introduction to one of the big things I wanted to do this winter. But I really wanted to clean up my engine bay this winter, get it cleaner, easier to work in. Let me get a light, that way we can actually see. Also, I wanted to mention I've already started the tear down on some of this stuff. A lot of it's such a pain. I'm working in tight spaces, can't really use a camera. But first, the first thing I wanted to definitely get rid of was the cruise control unit. So I'll actually show you a picture here, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. But down on the passenger side shock tower area, there is a unit here, and it's got like 3 different cables going off of it. So one goes back to the firewall and down into the cabin to the pedal. And then one actually wraps around and then goes down, and there's like a controller, like a computer type box down on the frame rail. The third one goes to the throttle body. The new one will go right from the throttle body to the firewall to the pedal. Cleaner, simpler. Now the next thing that I want to do, or one of the things I want to do this winter, is remove the ABS. My ABS doesn't work anyway. That's because if you have uneven sized tires, so if you have a bigger setup on the back than on the front, the car notices that, and basically it'll just give you an ABS and traction control code, and neither will work. Now I don't need traction control. The car puts power down pretty well, even on 17-inch wheels on the back. So I'm not really worried about that. But ABS, I drive without it anyway because it doesn't work because of the tires. So I'm just going to remove that. So I'm actually going to do a line lock and manual proportioning valve up here. So all this stuff is going to go away. It's going to look way cleaner. You're not going to have this massive box and a bunch of wires going to here. And then for the last and the biggest project, something these cars are really known for is having tight engine bays. And one of the reasons for that is because of the AC box being back here. So with the engine being tucked under the firewall so far, it's already kind of tight back there. But then you add this massive HVAC setup here. Now you can see I have a block off plate on it right there. Now that basically just removes the rest of the AC stuff. But I want to have a room. I never use the AC anyway, and so to remove this box here, especially with the engine in the car, the best thing to do is take the dash apart on the inside. And this is exactly what I mean. Dash is completely removed. So actually right there is your heater core and stuff. That'll all stay. I still have to get some of this crap off in here. And yes, this was quite a project, especially doing it for my first time. So how most setups work is you have an aluminum delete plate. It's just, you can get it from anywhere online. There's a bunch of vendors that sell them. I'll show it to you in a second. But essentially what you do is you take out the box back in the corner, the whole thing, pull it out through the dash, and the plate just goes over that. But that completely removes heat and AC. Now I want to keep heat. So what you have to do is you actually have to modify the plate. Now I'll show you guys right here in a second. Alright, so here is the block off plate. So to retain heat, there's a couple things you have to do. One is I'm going to have to drill 2 holes, and that will be where the coolant hoses go. So you can see one of them right here, there's another one right behind it. And those actually run, you can see them a little bit right there. They run back, and then those silver lines right there, that's where they're continued, and those go into the firewall. So that's what flows through your heater core, heats the air. I'm not sure which way it goes, if it's this way or this way. Then you also have to put a hump into this plate. So you actually have to modify this plate. Now, I got a welding buddy who's going to do most of the work for me. So I'm going to cut out the pieces on the panel that I bought, and I'm going to just get some measurements on here, and then I have the panel down in that box. Flat piece. So it'll be like 2 little, parts of a circle on each side, and then you'll have to make a sheet to go over those humps, and then that'll all get welded onto here. And the guy that does the welding is the one that did my charge pipes there, which I've mentioned in a previous video. So he does really good work. So I'm going to start getting my measurements. I'm going to figure out how long the hump needs to be, and then probably just figure out if I want to go 1.5 inches, 2 inches tall, I guess I'll just figure it out. It doesn't really matter. It really just needs to be able to move air. Okay, so I eyeballed kind of where I thought it needed to be. I used some pictures that I found online on LS1 Tech. Someone had done something similar. I tried to make it a little smaller than theirs. I would rather have the measurement just be a little undersized. Alright, so I just freehanded this side, and then I made some measurements, little nicks along the bottom, and then took measurements, and then adjusted this side accordingly since I just tried to freehand copy it from this side. So I was able to adjust my line a little bit. I'm going to go along the furthest outline, probably go a little extra just so some extra material, and then I'm going to take the piece that I cut out and then trace it onto another spot, and then I'll have my two humps, and then I'll just have to figure out the length across the curve, and then just cut a strip down the middle, and then that can be bent to shape to match the curves. Alright, so I got these pieces cut out roughly. I gotta do a lot of grinding, getting these pieces, first of all, not looking so crappy and beat up after the shears tore them apart, but also I just gotta get them down to where I actually set the lines. I cut it too big, which I would always rather do, because you know, if you cut it too small, then you're just out of luck. And hopefully, I kind of made a mistake in the way that I cut the panel, and I don't know if I have a long enough piece. I could always just shorten these up a little bit, and you know, this would probably then work fine. So either way, we'll make it work. But you know, I want everything to be able to go smoothly. So we'll see how it goes. I'm actually gonna shape the pieces up first before I cut a hole in the actual panel. You know, I'm not gonna cut a hole in the panel until I know exactly how big it needs to be. This was just for a rough measurement. Essentially, you know, these will just be standing up. This one over here, this one right here. And then this piece will curve over them, and then they'll all just get welded in place, you know, with this opening being open so that heat can flow. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Y'all take it easy, have a good one, and I'll see y'all later.